get another win on the road. At home and take care of business. There were some things we challenged them at halftime, and we did a much better job. We stopped giving up O boards. We didn't turn the ball over as much. So those are some things that we wanted to do, and I felt like we did. We can definitely clean up some things defensively, but 5 in double figures again, and like I talk about all the time, the balanced attack makes this really hard to guard.
Coach, this division has really gotten rough, both at home and on the road for teams. Knowing that, well, I'm going to just put it out there, knowing that you all needed this win at home to protect home, before you all take off on the road again, how gratifying was it to see them get in a game and grit it out?
Yeah, for sure. We talk about all the time, you got to take care of home, and we got to get some on the road as well. But we've done a great job of taking care of home this week, and I'm glad that they finished it out the right way. They have some days off because we have the bye weekend, so that gives us some time to relax and rest and our bodies recover so that we can prep and get ready for this next road swing that we have. But you're right, conference is hard, it's tough. Teams are great. They know each other inside and out, and you got to keep doing everything you can to win one game at a time. And I feel like we've done that the last couple of games and came out on the right side of them.
Well, Matt reassured us that some way or somehow I either looked down and wasn't paying attention, and the game was only tired, and they never got up.
Yeah, I thought we came out and had a really great effort in the first half, and I really wanted us to keep our foot on the gas and just keep doing what we were doing in the first half, but we let up just a little bit. You can obviously 11 and 14 in the first and second periods, and then giving up 23 and 26 in the third and the fourth. So those are definitely some things that we can still work on. The good news is you want to be playing your best basketball in March, and we're only in January, so it's definitely something that we can continue to get better at, and we will.
And in the second half, it seemed that lull kind of started when the offense wasn't quite in sync, but even when things weren't, I don't know if the communication was off or what was going on, it seemed that every possession following one of those uncertain circumstances, somebody came up, and it was somebody different every single time. Is that kind of what you're seeing as a strength of this team?
For sure. I talk about our balanced attack all the time. If we have 4 or 5 in double digits, I feel really good about our chances. We're sharing the basketball really, really well. We had 16 assists tonight. We had 8 at halftime. So, again, we're sharing the ball. We're making the one-mores. We're finding the really open person, and we're passing up good shots to get great shots. And so I like our balanced attack. I like that any night I feel like a different person can step up and be a part of that. So again, I think that's what makes us tough and hard to guard and hard to scout for. If you try to take away Ash, you still got to take away Malia, and then you got Indy coming off the bench that's also scoring the ball really well. Kate wasn't as on tonight as she was the game before, but then Dom comes in and goes 3 for 3 from the 3-point line. So again, just everybody stepping up at different times is what makes us so good.
And then it's been kind of a season of runs one way or the other for y'all. Obviously, winning a couple was important to get back on track, but to win 3, to have to grit them out and have a couple close games, how important is that that y'all are back at 500 right in the mix going into the second half of conference play?
Yeah, for sure. We wanted to chip away. We wanted to not get ahead of ourselves. Kind of like last year, we started talking about just winning the day, winning the game, winning the next game, and not worrying about everything that's in front of us. And I think we just got to keep that mentality, keep that mindset, take care of what we can control what we can control, and win that one game at a time. And don't worry about February, don't worry about March, just worry about the next game that's in front of us. And that's another road swing for us to go to Charlotte and UAB. But we have some days off, and then we just got to focus on us for a couple of days of practice as well. So definitely huge. I love their grit. I love their toughness to get us back to that 500. I'm not focusing on the record. I'm focusing on a game at a time, and then the record will take care of itself.
Malia, talk about just being in the moment to start the game. You all went out on a quick run, and it was like, okay, it's working, so let's just keep at it.
I think one of our strengths as a team is coming out hot in the first quarter. Everybody is super pumped, and we came in with the mindset of we're going to share the ball. Everyone is going to score. We're going to attack them first, and we stuck with that through the first half. And we did exactly that, and we came in at halftime and talked about it, and we need to continue to bring that energy that we bring in the first half into the second half.
Ash, talk about being out on the low post tonight.
Good banging in
It
there.
was pretty physical, yeah. I mean, all I try to do is just run as hard as I can, get them tired, and then post up really hard. I'm usually good about drawing some fouls, getting pushed in the back. So didn't get a few calls tonight, but I'm going to just keep trying to go hard.
How often do you get in those situations, especially early on? It's one thing to get it late, because you kind of expect it, but you definitely doesn't be looking for it at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it can definitely set the tone, and I can appreciate maybe if they let them get away with some, because that means I'll get away with some too. But it's definitely more fun to keep moving up and down. So,
Malia, talk about being out on the wing, Ashlee down low, and you can kind of like freelance.
Honestly, I get a little scared when I have the ball up top because that means it's my turn to make the decision. And this game, I thought one of the strengths was making the right pass, reading out, getting into the paint, and finding our open shooter. I think being at the top of the key is intimidating, but
We are getting more and more confident in our 4-out, 1-in and making those reads and making those decisions. We got them in a lot of foul trouble in the first half, so we were able to see a lot of success with getting the ball inside when they had those smaller lineups in. So we'll just continue to work on that and continue to make the right reads. She's not giving herself a lot of credit. Very first play of the game, they swung it back to her at the top of the key, and she fed it right into Ashlee, and Ashlee scored. So we're just going to continue to get more and more confident in our 4-out, 1-in.
And then you talked about defense being something that y'all had particularly focused on, I guess, the past 2 weeks in this stretch. And you had a sequence, Malia, where they were pushing it back and had gotten really tight. And then you had 2 steals in the matter of like 15 seconds. Any credit that to coach for setting you up, or kind of how did those opportunities appear? It was bang, bang, and y'all were up by 4 all of a sudden.
One of our big principles is tagging. As soon as the shot goes up, find a body. And I think I'm always one of the first persons right under the basket, me or Ash, so we're always there. I love it when there's someone else next to me and we can just trap that person. And then I love it when they're frantic after the first one and they just throw it in and I'm right there to get the next one. So, yeah.
Have you kind of seen how that has kind of helped out y'all on the offensive side of the ball? You go through a slump in maybe late second, early third quarter where the shots aren't falling, and all of a sudden you only have to make 2 or 3 shots in a 5-minute period, and you're still keeping that lead.
Yeah.
I think that really helps. I think Malia is really good at I think people sometimes underestimate her athleticism, and there's been a lot of times like in the games where we'll get those back-to-back steals on our tags, and she's really great at that. So.
I mean, they did a great job mixing it up a little bit too defensively. I think some of our offensive woes were to them trapping on the wing on passes, but then they started trapping even just on the dribble, and they got us off rhythm a little bit for a second, and then we figured it out after that. But the third quarter, when they were mixing it up, it definitely threw us off a little bit. But again, defense, when you can't score the basketball, you want to hang your hat on defense, and we did some moments like Malia's, and we had some good stops, but we can definitely get some more stops.
All right.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.